Hi, welcome. I'm Astrid and this is Wattle and Wool. I am a Australian. I live in Perth in Western Australia. I'm actually a high school teacher and I design I design knitwear with wool using both of my Latvian heritage and my Australian culture. If you are a returning visitor, hello. If you have just found me, hello, hi. I hope you stay and enjoy. I love a good chat, so feel free to tell me hi and what you like or don't like in the comments. And if you do like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you feel like it, share it around so other people can find me too. It's always quite fun. So I have made a list because I've got so much to share with you. I haven't seen you guys in a while. I think I recorded a little bit before Easter and then I went into like Easter Bunny coma and just ate a lot of chocolate, which I'm not regretting at all, not one bit. Although I am a bridesmaid in about 5 weeks, so that dress, she gonna be a little bit tight. You have to work on that one, but that's okay. So I thought I would show you what I finished first. This is Dzintars. It is a really simple raglan shaping with a rolled hem at the back, V-neck shaping, just summer top. It's a nice boxy. It's knit up in DK. This is by Stitchcraft and Wizardry, so Anna, who's a good friend of mine, and this is in her Ginny's Dance. And it's just so beautiful. It has these really pretty little flecks of blue. Sorry, my cat found the plastic bags. My housemate is moving out and my boyfriend is moving in. So there's boxes and bags everywhere. I'm trying to position you in a nice spot where you just see me and not the absolute catastrophe that is the rest of my room and the house. Anyway, so this is Ginny's Dance. It has little blue flecks and pinks and golds, like rusty kind of colors all through. It's so pretty. So I did stop it here, which is why it looks funny, because I knit it up to here, blocked it, and this is my belly button. And then I ripped it out to add on a little bit extra length. But I don't love it with the extra length. I'm actually thinking I'm going to rip it out and just stop it there again. I feel like with the boxy style, it sits better at my midriff instead of almost at my hip. I don't like it. I also think I haven't blocked it, and I do think that I haven't blocked the extra length. I think that does make a difference. So this is a boxy style, and it's A-line increases, so it increases out to here. In particular, Anna absolutely loves an A-line and she looks so good in them. And so she really wanted me to be designing some A-line stuff, which, I mean, it's her yarn, of course. I'm going to do what she asks for. And so I saw her on Friday and I was showing her the top and she was like, is it really A-line? So I think I'm going to write in the pattern, and if you would like to test for me, then you can try this, to do increases every 4 instead of every 6 rows. I think that would just make it more voluminous. That's the word I'm looking for. So this one here, I really love it. It's got that's just it pulling. But it's got a really nice like triangle shaping down here. This is where it gets its name. So Dzintars in Latvian means amber. And amber is actually petrified tree sap. So it's not a precious stone. It's just naturally occurring sap. And I find it really beautiful. A lot of people have strong opinions on it. Some people love it, some people do not. I personally love it. And I just love the fact that no matter what, there's never a perfect part of it. There's always going to be an imperfection. And I really enjoy that for this idea of like just a simple top where you don't need to be perfect. You can throw it on, go out the door, do your shopping, and it's just, life is good. So it's just a simple raglan. So raglan is when it goes basically from the shoulder around the sleeve, like a baseball tee style, in diagonal increases. I really like this top. I hope you do too. Like I said, if you do wish to test for me, I'm going to be setting out calls very soon. My tech editor is currently in the process of hopefully catching all my errors. And then it'll be out very soon. So I've got this one, and I've got Patootie. I was trying it on just before I started recording, so I do need to actually cut all the ends off and weave them in. But this is little Patootie. It's a tiny little singlet. Not really bralette because there's no support down the bottom. In actual fact, it flares out. So I wouldn't wear it as a bralette, but I'd be wearing it maybe over bathers or with a high-waisted skirt, which is probably how I'm going to photograph it. It's a super quick knit. It's in worsted weight, and it's, really fun. Again, if you would like to test knit this, it's coming out very soon. The test call out, I should say, not the actual knit. So this is what I've just finished, and it is school holidays currently. I have been knitting a lot for about a week. So let me tell you everything else I've been doing. The first thing I really wanted to do was I wanted to start knitting something that wasn't my own. So I actually, when I went to Yarnia, I bumped into someone, Tamara, and she asked, like, do you ever knit anything that's not yours? You seem to always knit, like, your own designs. And I was like, yeah, I do. My brain is a sinkhole where designs come and then stay forever. And they don't often get out. So I think it was last count was 43 designs, but then I added a few more. So, yeah. I don't often have time to knit my own designs, let alone someone else's. But I've been feeling lately like that's not good enough. And 2021, I decided to start knitting other people's designs. So I knit the little bloomers for my niece, which got to her nice and safe. And my cousin sent me a video of her wearing them, although she didn't have a top on, so I couldn't show it to anyone because, privacy. So we're still waiting on Willow to be okay with wearing them. Toddlers. But yeah, so I decided to start knitting other people's designs. And the first one I decided to do was Moon Sun by Uma Knits. So I've only done, it's knit, English. It's knit in sections. It is an intarsia knitting process. So this is the front. It has a big sun on it, which does not look like what it's meant to because I actually can't seem to count and focus. And so I re-knit this a few times before just kind of going, whatever, now you look like this. But it's got these really pretty mountains. If you can, you can see. Good. I can't. It's got these nice mountains, and the, it comes up. It's quite big, quite big. I didn't quite get gauge, but I also couldn't be bothered because I wanted it to be oversized. So the intention was for it to be quite big. And also, the petite wool, which is the recommended from We Are Knitters, is lovely and expensive. And so I preferred to just do something a little bit easier. And so I went to Yarnia, of course, and I got some Peru. So it is by Scheepjes, and this is 20% alpaca, 80% acrylic. I just wanted to start on something that was just going to be easy. And normally I'm a massive yarn snob, but I thought this would be okay. And it feels quite soft. And knitting it has been really nice. So there's no real issues. It is 75 meters for 100 grams. And yeah, so my gauge is not that. My gauge is also not what was required. My gauge is something completely foreign and different. But we're rolling with it and we're seeing what happens. So she's doing all right. So yeah, it is quite big. There is meant to be ribbing at the bottom. And so you meant to do 6 rows or something of ribbing and then start it. But I didn't. I decided to do a provisional cast on, just down the bottom, and then start knitting basically from the word go. And then I thought once I've sewn everything up, that I would add on the ribbing afterwards. So instead of doing the ribbing first and then knitting it, I would do knitting it and then ribbing, just to make sure it kind of fits. And sometimes I like longer ribbing or a split hem, like I wasn't really sure. So I wanted to give myself that allowance to be able to change it up as I needed to. So this is only, like, look how wide it is. That's 88 stitches. So you can already see this is huge. It's pretty much all in one piece. It's got a dropped hem, sorry, a dropped sleeve. So it's knit essentially as a big rectangle. And then these are the shoulders. So obviously that's going to hit down. The sleeve is going to be kind of on my arm already instead of, you know, at my arm side. So it will be a drop sleeve, and yeah, it's really fun knitting it up, and just seeing how things work. I've never done intarsia before, so I was quite surprised that my back of this looks so clean and neat. I'm very impressed with myself. There is a couple of moments where it doesn't look too neat, but apart from that, it's pretty great. It kind of reminds me of cross stitching when I used to cross stitch. And yeah, like I remember my mum's was like the back of her piece could almost be the front. It was beautiful, and mine looked like terrifying struggles. So luckily mine is not looking terrifying, and which means that they're not all going to come out, which is really good. So I got up to this much on the second, on the back of it. So this one's going to have a moon instead of a sun. And then I stopped. And the reason why, partly is because it's less portable. Like, if you can see all of this hanging out. Also, intarsia means that things get really easily tangled. Like, incredibly easily tangled. And it's really frustrating. So that's one main issue. But the other issue as well is I did it while studying my master's. So, not that I'm finished at all. But I've done one unit now. Hello, Beth. I've done one unit now, and I had to do a big report. And this report, it was fun, but I haven't done academic writing in a long time. I haven't read anything academically in a long time. You know, like, as a teacher, I read textbooks and I read the news, and I read, like, it tends to be more short form. I don't just read a 22-page peer-reviewed journal entry into the linguistics journal. It's not something that I'm used to doing, so I really had to teach myself how to do it again, and it was really hard, but it was really fun. So that was what I was using while I was reading. I find that I actually read better if I knit, and so that was my research jumper. So now that I've done the research and I've handed it in, it's all finished, I've kind of just stopped, and so it's maybe a third of the way finished, and I don't know whether I will be able to pick it up before uni starts again, which might just become my uni jumper, which is what I work on while I'm doing uni, which could also work really well. So we shall see. So that is the first work in progress. The second one is something that I didn't show you guys because I hadn't recorded in time. So this is from these balls, these beautiful skeins, are from Louie and Lola yarns. So this silver has got little speckles all through it of like blue and rust, and it is so nice. And then this one is it's a semi-solid, so it's got some speckles and some lifted colors through it as well. And so this is the Christmas, it's got hair in it. It's being carried around in my bags, and there's probably all my hair all through my bags. This is one of our Christmas specials, and I got them on sale because I wasn't in my richest moment. But they are beautiful, and they're so nice to knit with. To be really clear, and slightly embarrassing, I you know how you can, like, when you're ordering something, you can leave like a little note and just like, leave a note to the dye or whatever. And I was like, hey, it's Astrid of Wattle Wool. And then I like realized how weirdly influencer attempt try hardy that sounded, and like that's not me. And so I ended up messaging her on Instagram being like, I'm so sorry, that did not come out like it was meant to. And she just laughed. She's like, no, came across exactly how you meant it to. Don't stress, like I know you're good. So I got these two beautiful skeins. They are merino sock. So they've got nylon in them. I have no idea where the bands have gone, so I can't tell you the names, but I'll find them out. Actually, hang on. Got the purchase order. Well done me. Good girl for saving these things. Okay, these are merino nylon sock. That's why. So this one is called Early Morning. And this one is Quince. While we're talking about Louie and Lola, I also got these two, and they're so nice. I have no idea what I'm going to make with them. I had an idea and then I lost the idea because I didn't write it down. Probably because the other 37 designs up in my brain kicked it out. But these are merino silk yak fingering. So just the drape on them is going to be exceptional. This one is in Peach Light. And this one is Nessie. So I have no idea what they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be together. I think they will be, because I like to keep bases together. But we shall see. So in getting this, when I was unskeinin, like winding up the balls, the reason they're in balls and not in cakes like I actually like them is, unfortunately, there was a skein issue. So it could be user error. I'm very well known to make lots of mistakes. I check my skeins very carefully before I put them onto the wine, like the Swift, very carefully, because I've had them screw up before. And it's not worth it. So I generally like trace my fingers through it, see if it's all going the same way, and everything was fine. And I put it on the skein and started to unwind it, and there was like a big tangle. So I honestly think it would probably be like the manufacturer, and it would just be that one skein that slips past, that 1 in a million skein. So this has not at all deterred me ever from buying from Louie and Lola again. And in actual fact, I'd taken a couple of pictures because I was just like, what the heck? Like, the messages from me to some friends when I was trying to unwind it was like, it involved weird, like, do I have to like sacrifice a child or a goat? Like, it got weird. Clearly that's not how I actually think, but when you've been doing this for 4 hours, you get a little bit grumpy. And because I really wanted to cast on my idea. So I was grumpy. I called down, I messaged her once I figured it out, just with a couple of pictures of like, hey, this happened. And she was like, I am so sorry. And I'm like, it's not your fault. Like, it's not like you came to my house. I'm like, nah, and then I suffered, like, not at all. And she did apologize. And then she's ended up giving me a voucher for just to apologize, which was over and above. Like, I did not intend on that. I more meant it to be like, hey, just in case someone else comes out with you, maybe it's a batch. But she was really kind and really generous. And so now my cart is full again, and I'm waiting on payday because I want to spend a lot of money. She's also come out with advent calendars as well. So definitely have a look. Louie and Lola yarns are amazing. And I definitely recommend. So these are currently part of my project. It is going to be a beanie. So I was laughing. I suppose so a lot. I'm sorry. I was laughing at myself because we all know that I detest tiny, tiny needles, and I detest socks, and I detest tiny yarn and all of that. But somehow, for a beanie, 1x1 rib is the only thing I want to do. I don't seem to like 2x2 ribbing when I want to do it myself. And so this has been a very intuitive cast on. I did a tubular cast on, which is my favorite for a beanie. I just think it looks absolutely magical. It is just my favorite. I actually knit it a few more rows deep than I probably would have, so it's tubular, but it's almost verging on a folded brim, which I also would love. So either way, I'm happy. I screwed up and didn't pick up enough stitches, so ended up having to add another one. And yeah, so this is the beanie base, and I just love it. It is so nice. That grey is just, it reminds me of like London fog, which I've seen once in my life, so really I don't know if it actually reminds me of it, but it seems to. But all the little speckles just stand out and dance in it, and even the grey tonal, like the shading of it, it's just so nice. So this is the part of my beanie. I really want this to be nice and big. In Perth, it's not that cold. Not even close to being that cold at all. Like, we're going into winter. Yesterday was like the wettest day we've had all year, or something along those lines. To be fair, there is a tropical cyclone coming in, so definitely, lots of rain. But I wouldn't say it's crazy at all. And even, it's been 20 degrees, 17 degrees. Like, it hasn't been bad. Celsius, if any Americans are watching. So for me, there's no need to double fold the brim, because there just isn't. But I do love a long brim. So I think I did cast it on very intuitively. I think I'm just going to keep knitting it very intuitively. When I feel like it's ready to get on with the pattern, it will. So it's going to be called Solar Beanie. I think clearly the moon sun, I'm not over the solar yet, so I just love sunlight patterns. And so I'm going to be doing this one on top, and it's going to start as kind of like a scalloped, or like a cloud. That's the intention, like a scalloped edge. And then it's going to go into a really pretty moon and sun pattern, which is going to be very recognizable, but I hope I've done it uniquely enough. So I'm just really excited by it. Really excited. So this is going to be Solar Beanie, and it'll be done pretty soon by the way that I'm knitting it. This took me less than 2 days, not monogamously at all. So, and I'm not a fast knitter. So obviously I'm doing some things right. Okay. The next thing, so I've got heaps to show you. Okay. This is called Spirally. This was bought for me by my friend Hannah, who is in Norway. And I've spoken about her a few times before. I just love Hannah. I think she's incredible. And if you are lucky enough to follow her on Instagram, then you will agree that she's got some of the best plants. And her dog, I love them so much. So yes, so she occasionally sends me Snapchats of Aurora Borealis, or like the not even that, more like the Norwegian snowscapes, and like just the beauty that it is. So I send her what to me feels very mundane, but might be interesting to her, I hope. But we do have amazing sunsets in Perth, so I'll probably keep sending those. So this is called Spirally. It is going to be a really pretty jumper. I have spoken about it on here before, and I probably will continue speaking about it for a while. It looks like that, which is gorgeous. It's a bottom-up sweater. So again, fitting my I want to knit something by someone else desire. It's got a round yoke decrease, and it just looks so striking. I'm really excited to properly work on it. This is my in the bag knitting, in the car knitting. I don't want to pay attention to anything, so I'm just going to pull this out knitting. And so I'm getting a bit worried because it's got to get up to 5.5 inches, which this is definitely not yet. But I'm with these, these needles and this size yarn, it's not going to take me too long if I just sit there and work at it. So I need to either familiarize myself with the next part of the pattern, or come up with a new pattern, or a new part that's also going to be really easy, because everything I'm up to now is revolving with a bit more brain power. And I'll tell you why in a second. Or I can just tell you why now. Sorry, this is going to be jumping around a little bit. Being school holidays, I've got a couple of things coming up. So I've got a concert on Thursday night by Missy Higgins. So Missy Higgins is like a well-known Australian artist, and she's just beautiful, very Australian in the way that she sings, which is very rare. Most people tend to mask their accent when they sing, and she seems to bring hers out, which I just think is really beautiful. So I'm going to go to a concert, and it starts at 8:45 and finishes at 10, which means that there's not going to be a lot of light. And of course, I'm going to be knitting because, hello. And so I need to think of something to do. And then, so that's Thursday. And then next Saturday, some girls from work invited me to see Legally Blonde with them, which I'm so excited for. I love Legally Blonde. And so, again, I need to be able to have something to knit with that I don't need to pay attention to. And there's a couple of other things coming up that basically require non-attentive knitting. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Well, a while. Maybe it's better than a long time. For, enough that I care about it. So this is my Advent calendar from... Make sure I'm not... Oh no, I have completely ruined it. There we go. This is my Advent calendar from Plies and Hellhounds, who is... She was once upon a corgi, and now she's Plies and Hellhounds. I knew there was a change. And this was the final skein, the 25th day skein. So she dyed these based on the Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass series, which is one of my favorite young adult fantasy series. I think it's new adult now, like they've reframed it. So it's one of my favorite series, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so she's designed a beautiful colorway, and then they've actually got she had like full skeins of them as well, and I just think they are the most stunning and beautiful and exquisite colorways. If you want to see them better, if you scroll down on my Instagram, I am Wattle and .wool, or if you look at hers at Plies and Hellhounds, scroll down a little bit, or even look at her highlights for Advent, you can see what they're called and each day. I've put them out of order. I've put them into a rainbow order, which I liked a little bit for what I want to do, but they are like beautiful whichever way. So this is going to become a cardigan. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone at all. But the book's been out for a while, so if you haven't read it, you keep up, mate. But so the main character, her name is Aylin, or one of the main characters, I really should say. Her name is Aylin, and something that is critical to her role as a protagonist, or her identity, is that she's been whipped. And so she's got these big scars on her back, and then like the evil queen comes in. It's got magic. They've all got magic. I love magic. And basically erases the history. So it fixes her skin to the point where she's got no history left. And I'm very conscious of like, who would I be without my history? That's part of why Wattle Wool came about, because, I want to engage with my Latvian history as much as possible. Even, I've got Latvian knitting books that I am translating at the moment. Google Translate is a terrible beast, but I'm giving it a go. So things like that, like I'm very passionate about my own history and my own culture. And so the concept of losing your history is a really big one. So it just all resonates with me very strong. And so I wanted to make a cardigan out of, because I didn't know what to make anyway, and I definitely wanted to make a cardigan for a while. So I thought I would make a cardigan out of these minis. I'm a bit worried because I would like it to be top down and have the arms the same as the body, which of course means it's going to be difficult to be able to get all the skeins right. There are a couple of, not double ups, but similar enough. Like these two will be at the beginning, but say if I used one for the body and one for the sleeves, it's not going to be the same, but you get the idea. Or even these yellows. Like if I did them, tried to integrate them, sorry, my bad. If I tried to integrate them a little bit, or even the blues, I don't know, like they're different enough that it's going to be hard, but I really want to try and do it as a beautiful striped cardigan. And then I'm in love with traveling stitches. And so these ones are some mini skeins that I bought from her at the same time as I bought half my other stuff. And the same times I bought the Advent. Please excuse me. There's dust and fluff. And so I wanted to use these as kind of like to show the scars. So as it'll be like a really simple raglan cardigan, really simple. As it comes down, these are going to basically come across into stripes, and they're going to be the whips. So I told a friend who I recommended the books to and then lent her my copies of the books, and I told her what I was planning, and she was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. That is it. That is perfect. And she doesn't knit at all. So I was like, yes, cool. Clearly, if I can conceptualize this to someone who loves the books, then knitters will understand it. So that is what I would like to get to. And I think if I start pretty much today-ish, that by Thursday, I'll be up to non-thinking knitting. I hope. So that is the goal. And then, of course, because I've got the full skein, this will be the button band and the collar. And I think after I knit it, I will figure out what kind of collar I want. But it's going to be like a nice V-neck cardigan. So I guess I just got to see if I want it to be like a shawl neck collar, but I don't want it to cover the detail at the back or the beautiful striping. So we shall see. So this is like a future project that I've got planned, but I'm going to be starting it like literally tonight. So it's almost a work in progress. Okay, so a few other ones that I'm currently working on. The sun is setting and I want to be conscious of that. Okay, this one is called Bouquet for Beth, and it is a top for my housemate. It is her birthday very soon, so I wanted to have something ready for her. This was actually purchased last year around this time, so it's taken me a year. But why not? Her birthday is towards the end of April, so I've got like a week to finish it off. The reason I haven't is because it's up to the thinking stage. This is the back of it, and then this is the front. But to be able to do it, I need to strand it still to be able to make this fade work. So it's a lot of thinking right now, and my brain is a little bit reluctant to think. So we shall see how we go. But this is again dyed by Anna of Stitchcraft and Wizardry. The fade is the most perfect I can think of. It is absolutely gorgeous. I do have a bugbear. I tried helical knitting. You know where I'm caught. So I tried a helical knitting or helical or whatever you call it, which is a striping technique. So as you can see it here, it's meant to release like relatively jogless stripes. And it has. But it's also given me a little texture. And I don't like it. I'm not a fan. So I ended up blocking it because I didn't gauge swatch before I started. Because why would I do that? And then it grew. And then I kicked myself quite a few times for not gauge swatching. Because clearly I needed to do that. Silly me. And so it hasn't quite blocked out, which I'm a little bit frustrated by. The front of it looks stunning. It's just that back that I'm a little bit not happy with. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. And then this is the stunning feature of it. The rest of it is just going to be almost like Tegna, like a really simple top. But these little bouquets of flowers are my absolute favorite. So I do need to video some techniques because I keep using techniques that I can't find easy videos for, or that are clearly someone else's videos, and that, you know, like for their design, and I feel really bad about using their video in my design when it was clearly intended for their design. So someone like Very Pink or even Andrea Mowry, like I don't mind because they seem to put it out as a resource. But yeah, there's been a couple of ones that I've stumbled across and it feels too disingenuous and inauthentic to be taking from someone else in this way. So I will be trying out ways of doing techniques. I've no idea how to do it, so we'll give it a go. Good luck me. We shall see. And then the last two things I've been working on is this one here, which I showed you a while ago. This is a scarf for my best friend. And it's called Her Wedding Bells. So it's got little love hearts in here. It's got lace and like textures. It's really pretty. And then it goes into the middle bit of just giant diamonds. It's got like a keyhole, like a ribbon, like a bow. And yeah, so big diamonds. So the reason I did it as love hearts is because I love her. She's my best friend. She has been for years. And she's just one of the most exceptional people. She's got such a big heart and gives like 20 million chances. We were joking the other day because I don't really give a lot of chances. Like if you screw up with me, unless you're my family where you kind of have to stay in my life, I'm pretty quick to not. And I think, you know, if I give a few chances but then you do it wrong again, I'm just like, nah, like, I'm sorry. Like, obviously I try and communicate this, and give you reasons of why you're upsetting me, but I don't really keep people in my life who are going to hurt me because I just don't think that's good. Whereas Sarah is the most generous and kind person, and she gives a million chances when not just me but everyone is saying you don't deserve it, and she just gives and gives. And so she's got the biggest heart of anyone I've pretty much ever met. So the heart is really, you know, reminiscent of her. And then the diamonds, she owns a balloon business, or like a decorations business called Diamond Designs. And she does balloon settings, like garlands, and they're really beautiful. So having a diamond for me just felt like Sarah. So then this is Kieran's one. This is her fiance's. And this one has not taken me long at all. Like pretty much at all. I've just been working on it very non-monogamously in the car. I'm not paying any attention to it. And it's grown quite quickly. This one, I'm up to the thinking of it. I'm up to the lace bit. And while I know where my brain is meant to be, this is my notes to myself of just like, fix it, girl, because what are you doing? That color, sorry. Because my writing of patterns sometimes need a little bit of help, which is why I tech edit and test. So this one is so far really simple. I want to get, if you can see, how this corner triangle bit like travels all the way up. So it's up to here. And I want to get it over to here and then like trail off before I start the next bit, which is where I kind of want it to like big zigzags of the of the diamond. So these are like little tiny ones, and it's just going to go really big and be a bit more masculine as well. The honeymoon is planned for either America, which how did I say that? America. Okay. Either America, which I don't think they'll actually do. I don't think they'll do that. Or New Zealand, which will be nicer for what they want to do. So not that I'm ragging on America. I'd love to go there one day, but just I don't think that their honeymoon will be there. So knowing that they're going to be in a cold place with snow, or potentially with snow, I wanted to get them something warm. So having a lot of eyelets like this didn't feel like the warmest option for me. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do like big diamonds, just to keep more fabric and more warmth in. So this is my current knitting projects. And now to tell you my stash acquisitions. So these, I've already shown you the beautiful ones from Louis and Lola, my merino silk yak. And I will be showing you much more from her very soon, because I'm about to put in an order when my pay comes through. Okay, so Knit Crate, sent me more yarn. That's the Malabrigo one. No idea when this was sent. No idea. Absolutely none. Yep, no idea. So it's very pink. Very pink. It's called, oh no, hang on. Did I already show you this one? This is the Squad Goals one. I think I did show you it and said if anyone likes it, let me know, because I don't. So I might just donate it to someone because I'm not. It's so not me. It is so unbelievably not me. So that's that one. But these ones are the Malabrigo crates. So I really rate these ones. Like, even if you don't normally get the knit crate ones, I am staying a member because I like their Malabrigo crates. I find them just fun. So these are the I can't pronounce words today. Malabrigo crates in Rasta, and these are 117 Blueberry Cream. Now, I'm not a big fan of the splotchy dye, where it's like obviously in a white base and you just kind of throw dye on top. It also, to me, these don't look the same, which I get is part of the appeal of Malabrigo, but they just don't look the same. As always, Knit Crate comes with a little book of patterns. Personally, not a fan of the patterns in there this month, but I'm not here to judge the designers. I'm here to judge Knit Crate. So Knit Crate has released a lot of emails, basically not only apologizing for what's going on, which I understand with COVID must be so torturous and difficult to deal with. People losing money, losing their jobs or something, so they can't afford things like Knit Crate. All of the shipping issues that they've had, all of their mills, all of their dyeing, all of their everything. It just seems like it's just been awful. If there is an industry I would not want to be in, it would be the Knit Crate business, because it just seems so difficult. And my heart really goes out to these people who are just trying to make a living and do good by their customers. And still, the CEO, Rob, he has sent out so many emails basically saying like he still stands by what he's doing. He still thinks he's trying to do the best for us. And I do really appreciate that. So I love these ones. I would do a beanie with them. I don't know if you've seen the lotus beanie that is floating around on Instagram. I was trying to find it before. I can't figure out where I've put my other big green yarn, the one that was like the Indonesia waters one, and I think they might look really nice together. I don't know, or it would just be a nice big thick chunky beanie that I would do, and knit a couple of them up for winter. I don't know, but I like these. I don't love them, but I like them, and I think they're really fun. So these are the Malabrigo Rasta blueberry cream, not blueberry cake, blueberry cream, sent to me by Knit Crate. So I paid for them. So we shall see what keeps happening with Knit Crate. I'll keep you posted. You know I will. And then I went to Yarnia, of course. And I bought yarn, of course. Actually, I can't even say I bought yarn. Alec, my gorgeous darling boyfriend, bought yarn for me. So I had ordered 2 of this one and 2 of this one. So I'm not going to say what they are because Hannah watches, and these are for Hannah. So this one's for Hannah. There's 2 of them, and then I'm keeping the what would you call that? Like mulberry dreams, mulberry skies, mulberry clouds, mulberry something. So it's absolutely decadent. It feels so soft. They're not too thin either. Like it's not super, I keep doing that with my finger. I'm so sorry. It's not super fingering. Like it's a nice weight. And so I've got a shawl in mind, a 2-skein shawl that I want to get on with and start designing up. Again, my brain is a sinkhole where dreams and designs go to die, but hopefully this one lives and becomes magic. So this is also very, very much my to-do list knitting. Oh, maybe this could be my concert knitting. Well done. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I can't say what they are yet until I send them off to her, and until I release the pattern. But I can say that they, while we're not being stocked by Anna at Stitchcraft and Wizardry, they will be stocked by Louie and Lola, and she actually ran out of them in like an hour. So if you can guess what it is, please don't put it in the comments because Hannah watches these comments and I want to keep it as a surprise. But she probably already knows just from that giveaway. Sorry, whoops. But we'll see. I love them. I think they're so beautiful. And then, the last two things I got were these. So this one is, I like to mauve it on the zebra base. So it's called Madagascar Jam, which of course I like to mauve it. And it's just so pretty. Oh, I love this one so much. So there is this one, there's a lighter pink, there is a bluey green and like another bluey green. And I want all of them. I don't know what to make out of it, but I'm so desperate for them. I love them so much. So they just make me so happy. And then this one is a tweed, and I love tweeds. So again, makes me super happy. It's called Love to Lady Lansbury, which I don't know what that's a reference from. Anna often does references, and I don't actually know what it is. So if you know, please put this one in the comments because I don't know. And it's on Manor House base of 85% superwash extra fine merino and 15% Donegal in fingering weight, 400 meters over 100 grams. And I just love it. It is so pretty and so happy, and I have no idea what to make with it, but I want it. Well, maybe that can actually work, hey? Like a pretty little, maybe not even a beanie, like more like a beret, like a laced ham style. Okay, maybe this is another design going to die in my brain, but we shall see. So that is all of my knitting. But I've got one more thing to show you. So this is the cutest thing in the world. I told you last time I podcasted that I was babysitting for a friend's children. And they're the best. They're just the best to babysit. They're so beautiful. The little one, she's 2. She was conked out at like 6:20. I was like, this is the easiest babysitting job ever. She's asleep. So that was just super easy. And E, the 4-year-old, so last time I went, I brought my knitting. I actually brought this one, and I let her help knit it with me. And so I just taught her how to knit it. So I said, you can do the yarn. So I would do the needles and then I would tell her how to pull it around, or she could do the needles and I would do the yarn. And so I would, help her like pulling at the needles kind of to remind her of where to go. And so she asked if they had to go out to a wedding, the parents, and they asked Bub if, who would you like to babysit you? And she asked for me, and she asked me to bring my knitting. So I thought not only would I bring my knitting, I would bring some for her. So I went and I found this one. It's just an acrylic, like baby yarn called Bubs or something like that from Spotlight, which is like Australian Michaels. And sorry, I'm like eating fluff. I don't know what's going on. And I got some little tiny needles. They're 7 mils, but they've got little faces on them, and I thought they were really cute. So I gave them to E. Okay, I'm almost about to say a name. I can't. It's E. And I gave them to E, and she was so excited. And we stayed up. We had some ice cream, which was such a big deal for her. And we did some knitting. And so I cast on, and I knit probably the first row, and everything else of this she's done herself. And so I'm not allowed to touch it. It's there for the next time that I come over, and I'll help her knit again. But these are pretty good. She's 4 and she's awesome. So I did the yarn for her, which is probably why the tension's okay. But she had to use the needles and she had to do it. And so she was sitting, so I was here and then she was sitting like right in here. I had my arm around her and was helping her do it. And we were watching, I think we were watching Hercules. Yeah. Some show, on Disney. And she would hold on to it and she'd be like, you know, watching the TV. And then, because I wouldn't do it if she wasn't doing it, I'm not going to make her knit. That's got to be her choice, I think. I'm not going to force it onto her. And then every time she would like look at me and be like, excuse me, why aren't we doing this? And then she would start doing it again and try and grab the yarn. And it was just so wholesome and made me so happy. And she's thoroughly obsessed with me getting pregnant, which not going to happen yet. No. But she's very obsessed with the idea of me having babies so she can come over and babysit them and then teach them how to knit. So we've made a promise that when I have babies, she can teach them how to knit, which I'm just like, yay! Spreading the knitting love. So that's been super fun. And that's been really what I've been doing. School holidays, lots of sleep-ins. It's been amazing. My housemate is moving out. My boyfriend is moving in, which is a big deal. I haven't lived with a partner in a long time. And so I'm hopefully now past all my freakouts. It took me a little bit to get over it. But hopefully it's all good now, and hopefully I'm ready to live with someone who can put up with me every morning. That's a big deal. Actually, in the mornings I'm just grumpy, and it's at night I get like hyper. I'm like, so he's dealing with that so far pretty well. Yeah, that's been about it. How are you? What have you been doing? Feel free to chat with me. I'm extra available now that I'm on holidays. Like I said, I'm at wattle_and.wool on Instagram. Don't bother finding me on Facebook. I don't reply most of the time. But Instagram, I will. So come see me there. Okay, I will talk to you very soon.